Yesterday was our yearly St. Patrick's Day celebration. It was a good time. Probably too good of a time. As the celebration was going on, I waited till Jason was into about his third or fourth drink of the day to let him know that there would be no new episode this week. Yet again, due to some audio complications and honestly just running out of time, I didn't get the chance to finish it, and I'll be doubling my efforts this week to make sure we have something new for you next week. So please enjoy a re-release of one of my favorite episodes of one of the craziest movies we've seen yet, 1976's A Star is Born. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
Am I just a figment of your imagination? Or are you just a figment of mine? We're podcasting now. Are you listening now? Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody. And thankfully, for all of you, I'll be singing a lot less in this podcast than anyone in this movie did. Christ. I'm Jason. I'm here with CJ.
The face that you were making while you were doing that, though, wonderful.
That was my Chris Christopherson face. He looked like he was in pain every time he sang during this movie.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm going right off the damn top.
All right, give it to me.
How many times in the history of this planet has somebody said, that girl over there with the sexy perm?
All right. I'm going to be honest with you. The hair was certainly a choice for this movie.
Perms were a choice, period. Like, why? Why did we do that?
All right, that being said, let's get into it. Because here at You've Got Mails, we ask the important questions. Barbra Streisand, hot?
I don't know. I feel weird judging.
Not me. I was kind of into her.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Like, I've never really thought of Barbra Streisand that way. But in this movie...
Definitely say I wasn't like Googling pictures of Barbra Streisand.
Well, neither was I, but I mean, I enjoyed watching her in this particular film.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say it was kind of like the Meryl Streep effect with Bridges. Like, I never really thought of it that way, and then this movie made me think of it that way.
I mean, I guess what I could say is I wasn't feeling it, and also I don't understand like what derailed this rock star's life, where he was just like, I am going to give it all up.
I think I would have gave it all up for
this young lady.
I think I would have gave it all up for Esther.
Esther,
that was her name.
I know.
Did we watch the same movie, or did you watch the Bradley Cooper one?
No, I'm just stating for the record.
Esther Hoffman.
Esther, another amazing choice.
It's a perfectly fine name. Esther with a perm. I guess we should say, today, on today's episode, we are talking about 1976's A Star is Born, the third film in the Star is Born cinematic universe.
Yes.
This movie, when we rolled this movie last week, you know, we put this one on here, and I said this was the original. I didn't fucking know. There's actually two other versions of this movie that were made before this one. So I think after this one, we'll go to the Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga one, and then we'll go all the way back in time and do the first two.
With Judy Garland.
There's one before Judy Garland.
Good Lord.
Right? So yeah. So what'd you think about this movie, CJ?
This movie took me places for almost 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Unnecessary. But this movie is fucking insane. It is bonkers.
So the movie itself is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I looked up the soundtrack on Spotify afterwards. It is 41 minutes. And they pretty much perform the entire soundtrack during the course of this movie. Some songs twice.
Yes.
So you're looking at, if you just cut out the musical parts of this movie, you're probably looking at a tight hour and 20. You're probably cutting an hour off of this movie.
I could have gone with that.
So there is a little bit of a backstory to this movie we can get into as we go. I found this almost as interesting as Princess Bride territory when I started looking into it. But this was more or less a vanity project, I guess, for Barbra Streisand and her then boyfriend, John Peters. And at one point, they brought the director in and told him, if you can make a good movie, that's great. But what we really need you to do is just get us, like, Barbara performing 6 songs on camera, and we'll make it a hit. So it was basically just a vehicle for everyone to sing. Chris Christopherson, for being a musician, not great at singing in this movie.
Well, he's one of those amazing, like, Janis Joplin types. His voice does not lend well to traditional singing.
Yeah.
But I thought about this was a few weeks ago we watched The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Which you got to swoon over Andre the Giant.
Yeah, by all means, you want to swoon over
Chris Christopherson, man.
Over Double K?
He's my guy.
Yeah?
I like him. I do too. He's a Rhodes Scholar. former military guy.
Yeah.
And he was a country singer from the time where country music meant something.
Yeah.
It is not about driving the largest truck you can to Walmart and jerking off a Marine. It is he's from the time when country music meant like, let's marry a black woman and shoot a cop because he done me wrong.
Yeah.
Like he's a badass.
Yeah.
And he's been well known for that. And he always spoke his mind. Yeah, I gotta stop myself now. I could just go on for another hour.
No, it's fine. I do think his performance in this wasn't bad. I thought the singing he did was pretty terrible, but I've also read online, done some research that he was pretty miserable during the making of this.
Yeah, it shows.
It was a hard shoot, I think, for everybody, unless you were Barbra Streisand and John Peters. But let's get into the movie a little bit, I guess. This movie is about John Norman Howard, played by Double K, Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
And Barbra Streisand, who plays Esther Hoffman. Both musicians. One's on the top, kind of coming down, and one is just getting discovered and kind of coming up, and they meet and fall in love, and we kind of see where their lives go. The movie starts out, big rock concert. We're getting to see the John Norman Howard Speedway. That's the name of his band.
Also,
and I thought they were actually introducing where the venue. I thought they were saying, we're here at the John Norman Howard Speedway. Little did I know it was actually the band that was about to play.
Coincidentally, the name of the band, we're both big Flogging Molly fans. The original band before they became Flogging Molly.
They were Speedway, right?
Speedway, yeah. How cool are concerts in the 70s?
Jesus Christ. I'm watching this. So we get a real big shot. Like, I did really like the event parts of this movie, like the big concerts, because you could tell that they literally just, there was no CGI, there was no visual effects. Like, they put on a giant concert and they brought in thousands of people. It looked and felt real because
they brought real acts so that they could bring, like, they had Santana play.
Santana and I think Peter Frampton at one of the shows, and they brought everybody in to watch them get their footage of Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand and then entice them to stay with good music.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. But yeah, we get this big concert, and you're right, it was fucking insane. Like, there were small children just wandering through the crowd with no one around. I thought that this child was lost. They're setting off firecrackers under the seats, which, you imagine doing that now. Holy Jesus.
Oh my God, people would think it was gunfire.
Yeah, exactly.
Trampled to death.
Yeah. But just a wild scene. But we get, the setup of the band is, they're getting ready to go on, and the lead singer isn't there. Everybody's freaking out. Finally, Chris Christopherson rolls up. He's clearly a hard partier,
Yeah.
He comes up to the stage, and they're ready to go on, and good old Gary Busey is right there with a little bit of cocaine.
A little bump and a shot to get you on
Shot of
stage,
Jack
man.
Daniels.
There was an actor that I used to work, like, not a big-time actor, but I used to work in theater a lot. And that was kind of the thing backstage. They said if you had a cold, a bump of cocaine and a shot of brandy is what gets you on stage.
Jesus.
I guess if you're a rock star, that's just if you're there, you bump of cocaine and a shot of brandy. A shot of whiskey.
I kind of feel like that whole thing was just improvised. And if you hung out with Gary Busey in the 70s and 80s, like if you walked up to him, like he immediately just shoved cocaine up your nose.
Just on his hand.
Yeah, and they were like, well, we might as well just keep it in there. But we find out that John Norman Howard he's kind of on the outs with his record label. They don't really go into specifics, but he's caused a lot of problems. He's not worth the trouble, basically. They're having a harder time getting him shows, getting him booked. And it shows. I mean, halfway through the concert, he forgets the lyrics. He's visibly drunk on stage. And then there's a weird move, which I kind of liked. After he forgets the lyrics to one of the songs, everybody starts booing him, and then they roll into a new song, but they're all wearing scary Halloween masks. Like, it's like they were the original Gwar.
Yeah.
It
felt like Alice Cooper.
Yeah, and it really didn't fit.
Like, it was a weird Frank Zappa, Alice Cooper. Sounded like Dr. John. Like, it was...
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that song, and it's not on the soundtrack.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one of So there you go. There's another song that's not in the soundtrack. You take that one out, that's even more time off of this movie. It
didn't have Barbara on it.
Yeah, it's literally one Chris Christopherson song, and everything else is Barbra Streisand. But we see the show, everything ends. They're all going back to the hotel to get a good night's rest, because they got another show the next day at, like, an actual speedway.
Yes.
Which is even more confusing. And, Chris Christopherson wants to go out and keep partying, and Gary Busey, the voice of reason, oddly enough.
Let's go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Roll a joint and get some sleep.
Yeah.
Is what he says. We got to party just enough to get your ass on the road tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris Christopherson, he's not having it, so he takes off for a little dive bar.
And this starts like my favorite 20 minutes of this entire movie. And I'm going to state right off.
Yeah.
I did not like this movie. I know that's jumping ahead, that's spoiler.
That's fine.
But I highly suggest that everybody fucking watch this movie. Because it is insane. Like, starting right from there, he's in the car having a conversation, and he washes his hands and his face with a bottle of vodka.
He does. Which, I mean, you want to get the germs off, and that's...
I mean, yeah.
That's 1976 hand sanitizer is what that is. It's fine.
It's awesome.
And he probably already smells like booze, so what does he care?
And that's like the least insane thing that happens in the next 20 minutes.
I thought it was pretty practical. You don't have hand sanitizer handy, It's the 70s.
Douse yourself with vodka.
Yeah, the guy's, he's health conscious. So he goes, after his little vodka bath, goes to like a little nightclub where he's already drunk and he's continuing to get drunk. He just wants to go out and party, but he also doesn't want to be bothered by the public, which is odd because he is a pretty big rock star. You get the impression, or at least was, like he's on his way down, but everybody knows who he is.
Yeah, he's basically like the proto Guns N' Roses, like Axl Rose.
Yeah, I saw like they kind of likened him to Jim Morrison.
Okay.
Although Christopherson says he didn't base anything about his performance off of Jim Morrison at all, but a lot of people saw similarities in the two. So he goes to this club, and this is where we meet Barbra Streisand with her little group.
Immediately. They keep upping the ante.
So it's Barbra Streisand in the middle of two African-American women who are her backup singers, and the band name, or their little group name, the Oreos.
And I love, like, even the way they set that up is the two African-American ladies are singing, and they split apart a little bit, and they're like, the Oreos, and she just rises me to
Yeah, just pops right in there.
this creamy little perm of a human being.
So yeah, we get that. And obviously, I mean, she's very talented. I'm not going to knock Barbara for her singing abilities. She does have a great voice.
Oh, she's incredible, yeah.
She's great. I mean, honestly, we'll get into it in reviews, but I didn't hate the music in this. The Chris Christopherson songs were awful. Like, he was really not...
See, I went the other way.
Really? I kind of dug some of the Barbra Streisand songs. We'll get to it. She's singing. Chris Christopherson kind of sees her, takes notice that she's singing, starts to make his way down to the floor to get a table to watch the show.
And what is the biggest power move ever? This guy's walking around with a bottle of whiskey
Yeah.
and a bucket of KFC. Like, they're not in a KFC. This show is not happening in a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, he stopped on the way to grab some supplies.
Like, they just keep upping the ante.
I do like, so as he's making his way from the balcony area down, there's a guy who's kind of hassling him for autographs, photograph, whatever. He's not interested in it. And then we see him do basically a pratfall. He falls backwards and rolls down this flight of stairs.
Ass over tea kettle, chicken wings flying through the
No,
air.
he didn't spill his KFC or his whiskey. It was amazing. The guy's a professional. He's been doing this for a while. So he falls down the stairs. We get a little scene of Esther on stage. She sees it and kind of laughs to herself as he falls. And then he comes up and gets his table. And he's having a big, long conversation with the waitress because he does have a bucket of chicken and a bottle of whiskey. She's not as concerned about the chicken, but the whiskey's a problem because she tells him they don't have their license, like liquor license, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so they're only allowed to serve beer and wine.
Yeah, beer, wine, and herbal tea, which was nice, just in case. He's kind of creating a scene, and after one of her songs, Esther comes down, kind of puts the mic in his face. He doesn't realize it while he's arguing with this woman.
Shames him.
Kind of makes a fool out of him. He digs it, though. Like, he's obviously... We get a little male sploosh, almost. He likes her. He likes her moxie. And that
She should have grabbed a drumstick.
Right? Just took one back with her.
Yeah, show him how badass she is.
But then she goes up, performs another song, or begins to, and we get like a local guy and his wife sit down at the table at the bar.
And it keeps getting weirder, this scene. Did you catch who the local guy was?
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. The guy, it's Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
In a pre-Freddy Krueger role. And they, he's kind of harassing John Norman, why don't you get up on stage and sing a song? And John says, well, this is her show. Like, I'm not here to perform. And things escalate. A little fist fight breaks out. Funny story about that. Chris Christopherson had no idea who Robert Englund was. And no one did at the time.
This was before any of that.
But to the degree that he didn't realize he was actually a paid actor and thought that he was a stuntman. So he thought that when they got into the altercation, you throw punches, I guess, differently if it's a stuntman or if it's an actor. It broke Robert Englund's nose.
Would a stuntman's nose be made out of hardier
No,
material?
but I guess he thought he would know what to do when he swung.
Oh, okay.
And
I get it.
Robert Englund just took it right to the face, and Chris Christopherson broke his nose. Robert Englund says, though, he felt so bad about it that he invited him to his trailer, and they just got drunk one night drinking wine.
Nice.
It sounds like Chris Christopherson was drunk on the set of this movie a lot. I don't think he was acting for most of this. He was not a big fan of what happened. He said, actually, that doing this movie kind of cured him of wanting to do movies. Because he didn't want to do it anymore after this.
He was in the Wesley Snipes movie.
He's in Blade.
Blade, yeah.
And I'm sure he's been in some other stuff. I honestly couldn't
But
tell you.
not many movies.
No. But, the fight breaks out. For whatever reason, Esther, even though he's basically been an ass her entire show and kind of ruined it, sneaks him out the back door. And he gets her into his car. It's a real power move from him. Because he gets her in the car. And she's like, I need to go home. He's like, oh, we'll take you. Let's get in the car. Get in the car. Immediately the driver, take us to the hotel.
Yeah. Thankfully, the driver was cool enough to, when she said her address, he was like, maybe that's a better choice.
Yeah, well, he took her home, but then in even more of a just power move, he follows her up the stairs. First, he tells her that she's got a great mouth. And then he goes, great ass, too.
Yes.
And then follows her to her front door, invites himself in, and she was like, no, I don't think so. You want to come back for breakfast? That's fine.
I'm making beets and biscuits.
Beets and Biscuits, which I don't know what that is, but I don't think she did either.
No, a great rap album, though.
Beets and Biscuits.
Yeah.
And she tells him, come back at 7.
I could see Outkast making beets and biscuits.
I'd listen to Beets and Biscuits. Yeah. She tells him to come back at 7 o'clock for breakfast. It is at this time 4 in the morning. He says, 3 hours, I'll be back. He proceeds to just go out and sleep in his car and has the driver wake him up 3 hours later. He rolls out, still smelling like vodka and fried chicken. And he has the driver run down the street on foot to get him a pizza.
Yeah, well,
at 7 in the morning. He brings him a pizza back and he takes it up to the door and knocks and he gets invited in. She doesn't know how to cook, she says, and breakfast was just kind of a joke, and that's why he brought the pizza, because he knew. He invites her to come to the show at the Speedway. They're doing the big show. It takes a little bit of convincing.
No, is the show a Speedway show or at a Speedway? Because they kept interchanging these two.
I believe he said the show was at a Speedway.
So it's Speedway at the Speedway.
It's a Speedway at the Speedway, yeah. And right next door, there's a Speedway gas station. It's very confusing.
I noticed something during this scene, and it's something that goes on throughout the entire fucking movie.
What's that?
Is that neither of them are having the same conversation at the same time ever in this movie. It's almost like they're not synced up. They're on different scenes altogether. She says something, and he says something that has nothing to do with it.
Well, they make note of it, too. She keeps changing the conversation. It's kind of like a running thing with him and her, where he'll be talking about one thing, and then she just, out of nowhere, it's like she's got some serious ADHD, where she's just onto something else, talking. I thought that was a character choice, but it could, honestly, after hearing about the making of this movie, just her going into business for herself and him not knowing what the fuck to do, because but he takes her, they fly in a helicopter to the show. She gets, the big rush of, I guess, kind of like being with a celebrity musician. They're out of the helicopter, ushered into a van. There's people chasing them down. They get out of the van.
They crank it right back up to 11 for another 20 minutes.
They do. This movie is a fucking ride. He puts her on the side of the stage and starts to perform.
Not until he gets his bump of coke and a swig of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, and the whole time she's kind of watching this from the side, just like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a mess. But I'm still intrigued. I'm curious about what's going on here.
Yes.
So he starts singing the first song of the act, which is the same song that he sang in the last scene where there was a concert. We get to hear this song from him 3 or 4 times, at least parts of it, because he never seems to make it through. In this case, he tries to go to the side of the stage and drag her onto the stage with him, because he's singing the song to her. She won't come to the side onto the stage, so he decides to he's just going to leave, basically. He walks off the stage and down, and there's a guy there with a motorcycle.
You just keep going.
Chris Christopherson, John Norman Howard, says, "I really like your bike, man." And the guy goes, "You know what? You can have it."
And then kisses him full on the fucking mouth.
Oh, he does kiss him full in the mouth, yeah.
Which, put a pin in that. We'll return to that in a couple minutes.
Okay.
But just kisses him full on the mouth and says, "The bike's yours, bro."
He proceeds to take this bike, ride it back up onto the stage, and starts doing donuts on the stage. Just pulling the microphones down, all the cords are getting wrapped up in the tires. Gary Busey, again, I can't believe I'm saying this, the voice of reason, is trying to get him off the motorcycle and perform in the show. Chris Christopherson instead drives the motorcycle off the stage. Is this where you're going to bring that guy up again?
The kissing?
The kissing guy?
No. Just keep it. But, yeah, that guy does come up again here.
Did you notice? So Chris Christopherson drives this motorcycle off the stage, and it looks like a horrific accident.
It's like a 20-foot drop. He takes the speakers with him.
He drives a motorcycle into a crowd of people, okay? And they're saying, like, later on, there were 11 people injured. And the guy on the, like, intercom, or the PA system is just like, oh, he's fine, everybody. He's fine.
It's part of the show.
If anybody's injured, please just go to the first aid tent. All this time, they're not showing him on the ground. They're showing everybody on the stage, like, looking down at him.
Yeah.
The guy who gave him the motorcycle runs and leaps off the stage.
Head first.
After his motorcycle, or maybe
like, they should
John
have
Norman
handed
Howard.
him the fucking WWF championship belt after this leap.
Like, I don't know what he was jumping down there for.
Amazing.
But
Like, this movie... I mean, when coke-dealing Gary Busey is the voice of reason, like, you already know you're in for a ride, man. And that ride went off the stage.
went off the stage and right into the back of an ambulance. So they get him on they don't show any of this, but, you know, the PA guy's like, please make room for the stretcher coming through. We cut to outside the venue where Barbra Streisand is. Basically, he took her from her home in Hollywood. I don't know where this concert venue is, but they flew there in a helicopter. And now she has no way home. Like, he's being put in the back of an ambulance. They take off. No one from the band is around to help her. Gary Busey is gone.
It's the 70s. She's got a sexy-ass perm. She can hitchhike right back.
I mean, she gets home, apparently, but she's looking around, and everybody clears out, and we just get a final shot of her just, like, in a fucking dust bowl, like, outside of this speedway, like, not knowing what to do.
So let me ask you, because me and you have been to plenty of concerts together.
Yeah.
And we have seen some bands have some amazing shows.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a band melt down?
Yeah. Well, sort of. I went and saw NoFX one time. They used to do a thing where it was like a beer tasting. It was like a brew fest and a punk rock festival.
I've heard of this, yes.
And about 3 or 4 songs into the NoFX set, they were headlining. Fat Mike fell off the stage and cut his hand really badly, and then they just stopped the show.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a music podcast. I don't want to get into it too much, but NoFX, one of my favorite punk bands, awful live, just terrible.
Oh, I've had that happen.
They go into tangents where they talk for like 20 minutes between songs about stuff that no one gives a shit about. They play like 4 songs maybe, and then half the time he's too drunk for anybody, like, for him to make any sense. And then, like I said, I've seen him fall off the stage and not finish the set.
That's what I was just wondering, because this is basically like a band, and it brought me back to, I was lucky enough to get tickets to that Guns N' Roses tour back in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
The one where they only showed up to 2 of the tour dates, and Pittsburgh was one of them.
Yeah.
2.5 hours late.
Go
It
us.
was
Yeah.
close to midnight when Axl Rose hit the stage.
Yeah.
And he was too drunk to function.
Oh.
And, like, everybody was mad then, but
Yeah.
now I look back, I'm like, oh, I got to see it fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, I guess it's kind of funny. When you pay all that money right in the moment, you're like, God damn it, like, I want my money back. And
Yeah, exactly.
and you're never getting it. So we fast forward a little bit to John Norman Howard's home, where all the band's hanging out. Gary Busey's there. His manager's there. He's in the pool, and his manager is just basically, what? What are you laughing?
It just keeps getting
Oh, yeah.
wackier.
It does get wacky.
Please, keep going. I know, I'm interrupting you a lot.
No,
Please,
it's fine.
keep going.
So his manager is just basically berating him, talking about the 11 people injured. You know, no one wants to touch you right now. I can't get you a show booked. There is some kind of, like, Native American reservation show or something that, like, is willing to get him. And he's like, they don't give a shit, like, about anything. They just want you there to perform. and he's trying to talk him into it. And then we get like a news helicopter flies in, and I'm assuming this is the part that you said.
Yeah, the radio DJ.
Baby
flies-
Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Baby-
B-E-B-E.
Wait,
Oh,
so,
baby Jesus.
oh yeah. So are you using subtitles in this
I
movie
did.
too?
I had to.
I had to
It
too.
was-
It was really quiet at parts.
It had a weird, 70s sound quality to it that I couldn't.
But he
get
called
my
himself
around.
Baby Jesus, so I don't know if that was a problem with the subtitles or if that's actually what his name is in the movie.
I think the idea was that it's just a play on the name Baby Jesus.
All right, so-
Like, sweet baby Jesus.
So we got Baby Jesus from K-Rock Studios or wherever the fuck
And if
he's
it's
from.
not crazy enough that this man flies a helicopter about 10 feet over a pool party to start harassing somebody, that somebody pulls out a gun and starts firing at it like it's Nom.
Yeah, John Norman Howard is shooting a gun at this helicopter, so the guy flies off. But the thing that confused me the most about this scene is this DJ isn't really even. I mean, he is harassing him. Like, just by nature, you fly a helicopter right over someone's home and start using a bullhorn to talk to them. He was asking him to come and be on his show. Like, you don't think there's better ways to go about that? Like, to just give the guy a call, maybe swing by the house on foot? Like, you had to fly a helicopter in, like, right above his pool just to ask if he'd be a guest on your show?
Absolutely butt fucking insane. It's what this movie is.
So yes, Chris Christopherson fires a gun at this helicopter. Baby Jesus flies away scared. And then the next scene we get is John Norman Howard going to this studio.
To apologize.
Basically to apologize because he knows that, like, he just shot a gun at a helicopter and he's probably could have some problems.
It's the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, nobody gave a shit. Like, clearly, he should be in jail for motorcycle homicide because there's probably at least one person died at that show, and no one cares. So he goes to the show, to the radio station to show his sorriness the only way he knows how, with a giant box of whiskey. So he's got a case of Jack Daniels, takes it up to the studio where this guy's doing his show, and instead of letting him in and talking to him, he gets on air and just kind of starts talking shit about him on the radio.
Smart move. I mean, now you have the guy in your studio.
Yeah, you could bring him in and do like a real in-depth interview or
Be
something.
cool. Be like, look, I won't sue you for shooting a gun at my helicopter.
Yeah.
If you just come in and sit down a little bit.
But instead, Baby Jesus decides to be a dick about it, which, I mean, kind of rightfully so. I mean, he was shot at. But instead of letting him in, he blows him up on air, and Chris Christopherson throws the case of whiskey through the studio window and then walks off while this guy's calling the cops, assumedly. But it doesn't seem to faze anyone, because 2 seconds later, he's in a hallway just walking around and sees Esther, who is recording a cat food commercial with the Oreos.
Yes.
You're right. This movie's batshit crazy. I don't. So she's. I guess it's not that crazy. She's an up and coming musician. She's just trying to get work, trying to do anything. So they're doing jingles.
I don't even think she's up yet. It is the beginning. For her.
She's performing at like dive bars. It's not a big deal. She's not a big deal yet. So she's doing this commercial. He sees her. And he's been trying to get a hold of her ever since they left her at the Speedway. The Speedway show at the Speedway next to the Speedway. So he convinces her to come back to his house, and they take a little tour. And she kind of calls him out on a lot of his bullshit. Like, you've got this big house, but it's kind of trashed. Are you an alcoholic? She says to him. And to his credit, he's like, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
Definitely.
And then she finds the studio. He has a really big, nice studio in his house.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the dining room or the grand room of this mansion.
And it's just pianos, PA equipment, everything. Like a really nice looking studio. And she starts playing piano, and he comes over and sits down next to her and tells her how good it is. And they kind of write a little song together.
See, I did like this song. This is one of the few I got into. Them doing this song together. It almost felt improv.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if you know this, but every musical performance in this movie was done live.
Yes.
Nothing is lip synced because Barbra Streisand was very concerned. She doesn't think she's a good lip syncer, and she also wanted a lot of close ups of herself and thought that if she lip synced, it would be noticeable. Chris Christopherson was not really on board with it. She was, and it's Barbra Streisand. What Babs wants, Babs gets. So that's what happened.
Her movie.
Yeah, this is what happened. And this is where they, he's singing this beautiful song to her piano playing. He's clearly singing it about her, basically. And this is where we get our first love-making sesh.
Now, this is where I go back to the guy with the motorcycle.
Okay.
Think about the passion in that kiss that man gave Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
Because the entire time I'm watching these two kiss, I had to ask myself, have they ever kissed somebody before in their entire life? Like, they're just butting their open mouths at each other. It's like when you have two friends at the bar and you grab the back of their heads and you're like, no, kiss! And you start pushing. Like, if they would have zoomed out, there would have been hands on the back of their head pushing them together. And I don't know if, like, they didn't get along or something, but these were the worst screen kisses I've ever seen.
So I can't really tell from what I've read, and I've seen some things, listened to a few things. Apparently they had actually dated before this. So
the chemistry really showed.
So there should have been real chemistry. He was miserable during the making of it, which could have something to do with it, and she was apparently a huge pain in the ass. Her then boyfriend was also producer on this, and was all up in everybody's business, and like really also a pain in the ass. So while they're filming this, like the guy she's with currently is there. That could make things a little awkward and make the chemistry a little bad. But I've also read that they remain friends to this day, even after all this. Barbra Streisand, Chris Christopherson. She says he's one of the best people she's ever worked with.
So maybe it's just a tough day or something, but yeah, not once in this movie do they kiss where I think, like, wow,
bad.
they look good together.
When I looked up the reviews, like some of the reviews that came out at the time for this movie, they were mixed, but one of the big things was just no chemistry between the two leads. Like, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
At least not in, like, the physical department. Like, I did like their banter at times, and, like, I thought, yeah. I mean, it's really just the physical stuff. Like, the kissing is really bad. Really bad.
I've seen guys kiss blow-up dolls at bachelor parties better than this.
But I thought their banter and like things like that were good.
That was good. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I thought that was all right. But this is where they get romantically involved at. And from here, John Norman Howard takes a bit of a backseat to Esther willingly. He sees a lot of potential and talent in her, and he wants to make her a star. Even though Gary Busey's character, who I'm assuming is one of his managers, he's got a lot of different managers.
He's just like I think he's like the direct band manager.
Yeah.
And coke dealer.
It's kind of saying, hey, Speedway, we got to get some new Speedway stuff out. We got to figure out what we're doing. I'm not worrying so much about her. And he wants to make an album for her. So he's got her in the studio. They're writing songs, performing.
Looked like a real Yoko situation going on.
It did, yeah.
Except for it worked out in the end. It didn't end with
and Yoko was more
him getting shot and her getting becoming Yoko.
Well, Yoko was more talented than John Lennon in this situation, though.
That's true.
It's a little bit of a reverse Yoko. They reverse Yoko'd us.
And meanwhile, the band in this entire movie, there's like a 60, 70 piece band that is Speedway. They're just always in the background, like, no matter what, they're just like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they don't seem to care.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys were actually Chris Christopherson's traveling band. So he knew all those guys in real life. That's where they got those guys from. From here, he's working with her, getting her in the studio. They have that weird gig at the Indian reservation coming up. So we get another performance.
This is, okay, I gotta stop you again.
Okay.
Did you clock the front row?
I didn't clock it, but I read about it. But please, let the listeners in on what you saw.
Front row. So this is a benefit. Now, it's the 70s, so they're not using the words Native American. It's Indian.
Yeah. I think
they mean Native American Indian.
Yeah.
So it's a benefit for Indian relief or help.
Yeah.
They show the front row at one point, and I had to stop this and look. There are two Native American Indians, almost as if the Oreos. We're going to go back to that. In between them is a Sikh Indian with a turban on. And it made me stop and go, the fuck is going on at this benefit?
Somebody in the casting department was a little confused on this one and wasn't really sure. It was almost like Scene Out of Airplane. Or like one of those kind of movies,
Like, you think that actor showed up that day, like, full Sikh getup.
I heard you're looking for an Indian.
Yeah, and they were like, fuck it.
Nobody's going to notice. The fucking 40 years later, there's two Yinzers in a basement talking about it.
It's fucking incredible. This movie
But there is a giant picture of a Native American behind them where they're performing. So, I mean, they got that right. John Norman starts to perform. He gets, again, this guy doesn't get through a full song in this movie. Starts to sing and then decides to stop and brings Esther's character out, or Barbara's character, Esther, out. He wants her to perform. And she's a little uncertain, but of course, fucking crushes it. Like, does 2 songs in a row. The place goes wild.
This would have pissed me off so bad.
If you went to see, I think I put
if
that.
I went to go see Speedway,
yeah,
and Barbara Streisand started, like, if I went to go see, like, because they're kind of Frank Zappa-y.
Yeah.
If I went to go see Frank Zappa and Barbara Streisand showed up,
yeah,
to sing, there's a time and a place. But that's not the time nor the place.
But hey, I want you to listen to this gal I'm banging. Let me bring her on out here for you, because
Yeah, and I mean, but she wrecks the place.
Yeah, she does. Everybody goes nuts, which I thought was strange because her style of music and their style of music, nothing alike.
Exactly.
But as we heard from the manager early on, the people putting on this Indian benefit, they don't give a shit as long as they have performers. So I guess that kind of excuses why no one was bothered by it. But this is kind of her big launch into stardom. She gets recognized from this, and then we start getting, she's producing an album. She's going to be on TV. All during this time, their love affair grows, and they decide to get married. All right, please,
I can't stop.
Please, CJ. I love
First off, let's get deep for 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to get about as deep as this movie, so it's going to last about 45 seconds.
Okay.
Thinking about this guy, he is miserable. He's made it to the top, and he realizes that it is terrible.
Yeah.
He's become an alcoholic. All the people around him are fake. He's just not in love with life. So he finds a girl that he falls in love with, and what gift does he give her? Let me drag you to the top.
Yeah.
That's my deep reflections.
That is true, yeah.
Before we get into the most amazing wedding scene I've ever seen, which is just dragging this poor lady out of the courthouse, who I'm pretty sure actually worked in the courthouse in real life and wanted nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
And making her marry them. Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do you said, in her, he kind of finds his peace. Like, he quits drinking. And she says that to Gary Busey at one point. She's like, I'm not bad for him. Like, he's the best he's ever been. He's not drinking any. He doesn't need cocaine and Jack Daniels to get through the day. He's quit drinking. He's sobered up, and he's found something to live for. He's trying to help her out.
Yeah, she's bad for profits, though.
Well, yeah, but not for him, but for everybody else involved. Yes, I suppose so. But they get married. They go to he owns a bunch of land in Tucson. He takes her there to show her the ranch house, which doesn't exist. Like, they show up and there's nothing. And she goes, I thought you lived here. And he goes, well, not yet, but I will. And then the two of them.
Let me ask you, montage, man.
I like this montage.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
It's a montage of two people who, I don't even know if they know how to drive. They build a house together.
Spoiler alert, they don't drive well.
Yeah, they build a house together. And we are sitting in a room that I am in the middle of renovating right now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen like that. It's not a montage. You need to learn what the hell you're doing, or you burn shit down.
Yeah, it was a little unbelievable, but I enjoyed the montage. They're on heavy equipment. I don't know.
He's driving tractors.
He might know how.
They don't. Not once do they show another person working on this.
No, they don't. Well, it was a labor of love, CJ. They built their home together. It was a nice moment. Why do you got to shit all over this beautiful montage?
This was a terrible montage.
I love a good montage. No, I like this one.
Not a single piece of personal protective equipment in sight.
No,
Matter of fact, this guy, I'm not even sure Chris Christopherson knows how to button a button. Not once in this movie was one of his shirts closed.
You're right. He did look very comfortable, though. I thought that to myself, how comfortable he looked all the time. And I kind of want to, I might adopt the Chris Christopherson A Star is Born style. Because he was just wearing all, white linen, just, loose-fitting pants.
They both kind of dress like Jedis most of the time.
They do. She's always wearing some kind of big robe or,
Yeah.
Yeah. But regardless, they build a house during a beautiful montage scene. And they move in together. They're living on this ranch in Tucson. All the while, she's flying back and forth to Hollywood, getting her music career together. She's about to go on tour, desperately wants him to go on tour with her, but he doesn't want to because in his mind, he wants her to do it on her own, and he doesn't want anyone to think that she got famous because of him. She wants to do it on her own merits.
And even though she got famous because of him.
Yes, to a degree.
I mean, she is legitimately skilled.
Yeah. But obviously knowing somebody helps. It definitely helped.
Yes.
It got her out there in the public eye. But now he doesn't want to be out there and having her ride his coattails. He wants her to do it on her own. And even his manager says, like, you can't go on tour with her. You're a mess. He's not anymore, but, like, he's got this reputation now.
Yeah.
Being a bad boy, like, driving motorcycles off of stages. It's going to mess up their tour if he's on it.
She's kind of squeaky clean.
Yeah. So he tells her that, he can't do it. He doesn't want to do it. She's upset by it, but it is what it is. He still goes on tour with her. The guy offers him the job to kind of produce the tour. He turns his nose up at it and says he can't even, he's not something he's skilled at or thinks he can do. But they show him on the tour the entire time, so I assume he is doing something there.
I think
he's
he's just flying in, hanging out. I think he's not working on it. He's just
which is fine, which is great. He's there. She didn't want to be away from him. It works out.
Yeah.
We get to a little later on after the tour. He's going to get back together with Speedway. He's been writing some music. They're going to get in the studio. They're going to make an album. This is what he says is happening. Drops her off to do a TV appearance, goes to the studio. All the while, they've been doing their own thing. They've changed the name of the band to Freeway.
Which is excellent.
Yeah, it's excellent. And Gary Busey tells him, like, he comes in the studio and he's like, oh, they got like a top 4 hit right now. Like, they're getting ready to go on tour.
Let's break this down a little bit, too.
Yeah.
So he's been living off in the middle of nowhere with this house that he built with his own 2 fucking hands.
Yeah, well, 4 hands. Barbara helped.
She did.
Yeah.
Sobering up, living the good life. He is not away from her for 10 minutes before he walks in, cracks a beer, and takes a bump of coke off of Gary Busey's hand.
Yeah.
As if that's their handshake.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, when they meet each other, it's like, hey, bro. And that's how they greet each other.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy did not waste any time. And then breaks up with the band.
Doesn't break up with the band. He's out of the band. And
He's out of the band.
He didn't even know it.
Like, all I could write down was like, well, that was easy, because he's like, no, I'm good. Like, he didn't even care.
He did. He obviously did. I think that was more... I thought that when I watched it, I was like, well, he's handling this really well with a lot of grace, because I think he was hurt and upset by it. Obviously, because he goes into a downward spiral.
I think maybe just he couldn't act.
Maybe. But he kind of backs out of the room and says, hey, man, good for you guys. I'm working on my own stuff. And it was all a lie. I think he was working on his own stuff, but this is not the plan that he had. He thought he was going to roll right back in with Speedway, started the band again. I just can't believe no one reached out to him and told him, hey, you're off the project. Like, I don't understand why they did that to him. But
think about it. If you didn't show up to your work for like 6 months because you got married and were building a house in the middle of nowhere, and you came back in one day, would you expect to have your job?
No, but I'd expect someone to reach out and be like, hey, you coming in today? And then I could be like, no, I built a house with Barbara Streisand. I won't be back. You should see the perm on this lady. We're having a great time.
Oh my God.
So he goes, after that, he kind of starts drinking again heavily. He is trying to write music. There's actually a good scene. I liked it. He's trying to write a song, and he's sitting on the couch with the guitar, and the phone keeps ringing, and it just keeps being for her. And he's like, no, I'm not her secretary. No, I'm not her call service. Like, you can tell, like, he's like trying to do his thing, and her thing is kind of starting to creep in. It's kind of starting to bother him.
Yeah.
And this is, he starts drinking again heavily. We cut to the Grammys, where Tony Orlando and another woman.
Oh, it was Tony Orlando and Rita Coolidge.
Who was Chris Christopherson's actual wife at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. They're presenting the best female performer. Esther is at the table with the manager, who used to be Chris Christopherson's manager.
And best friend.
Still is, but like he's managing them both now, but focusing on Esther because she's the breadwinner at this point. And they're just saying how John Norman is late. He's not there. She wants to get up and leave. Right as she gets up to leave, they announce her as the winner. So she has to go up, starts giving a speech. John Norman walks in, drunk off his ass.
Damn good timing.
Really good timing. She tries to cut the speech short. He walks right up on stage and just makes an ass out of himself. Fucks everything up. She wins the Grammy, but, she's not real happy about it.
Like, he orchestrated her being like, he can't be happy for her.
Yeah, exactly. So And she handles this really well, because then they go backstage after they're all mobbed by the press at the Grammys because, they just had this big blow up on stage. Little baby Jesus is there again.
Yeah.
He's trying to report, and he gets socked right in the face by John Norman, punches him and knocks him down, which was great. Baby Jesus is an asshole, right? Like, he gets shot at, and he gets stuff thrown through his window, but he's antagonizing him the entire time.
They're both antagonists of each other.
He's basically like the TMZ of the 70s. He's like the Harvey Levin of 1976. Like, he's just up in everybody's business and being
I would go with that,
dick about it. But they get backstage, and, she just kind of says, like, look at yourself. Like, why are you being like this? Like, and kind of talks him down, like, he cleans up again for the most part. Like, he's still drinking, but it seems like he's actually working on his own music. He's trying to get some stuff together for himself. There's a breakdown between the two of them that we don't really see, because we get a scene of her preparing for like a television special, and she's talking to her manager, who's also his manager, just saying that, I fly back and forth from Tucson here. He just not the same person. He seems miserable all the time. But then she's also saying he's writing new music. It's really good. You should listen to it. You should go and talk to him.
Yeah, please listen to the music.
Yeah. But she's not really happy, it doesn't seem like. Then we get a scene.
I think it's them being apart.
Yeah. And he's,
because as soon as she leaves the room,
and he's
I imagine
depressed.
He's boozing.
Yeah, and he's
like,
just depressed.
Just going to the bathroom, and he's like, "Let me get that bottle out."
Yeah, that's what she says too. She's like, when I get home, like he seems better, he seems happy, and then it just gets, while I'm there, he starts to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
And we get a scene back at he's back in Hollywood, I guess, visiting her. He's in the pool.
Yes.
While she's
he
he comes to the house. I think he just got there. He's not in the pool. And there is a girl swimming in the pool topless. This is our one set of female breasts in the movie.
Well, we almost got Barbara's earlier.
We did,
which I thought was a little risque for Barbara Streisand.
It was. Yeah. I would assume so. I don't know if she's ever been topless before.
Yeah.
But this girl gets out of the pool and tells John Norman that she is a friend of one of the guys in the band. I think Gary Busey. Honestly, I think that's who she was from.
Who at this point just busts out of a cupboard with a bump of coke on his hand.
And she says that she's there to get a story, and she'll do anything to get the story. And she wants an interview. And then she drops it on him that it's not him that she's there to interview, it's Esther.
Yeah, she's there to blow.
Yeah.
In order to get the interview with Esther.
Which, not a great idea in theory. It doesn't work out. But at this point, Esther comes home, goes upstairs, finds them in bed together.
Which, 3 people in this room, weirdly enough, only one of them had a problem with this situation. Because even after he's caught, they're just kind of like, all right, cool, well, you're here now. Like, you want to do this interview? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, she walks in, and they pop out from under the covers, and the girl's like, I'm here for her. He's like, she's here to interview you. And she's like, yeah, so let me get my tape recorder started.
Has it in the bed with them.
Yes. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was really upset at John Norman here. I don't know how you cheat on Barbara. I'm fully invested in Esther at this point in time. Do you think he slept with her because she dropped it on him that she was here to interview her and not him? And it was like, kind of like, I'm pissed off that I'm not the focal point anymore, so I'm going to do this to be a dick? Like, because that didn't work for me for his character. Like, he didn't seem like he genuinely seemed in love with her.
I think he just has to self-sabotage like once a week in order to really
he definitely
keep himself straight.
Yeah, he definitely does self-sabotage himself.
That was all that was just him trying to ruin his own life.
Yeah. But even after all this, and I got to ask you, because I hope you were paying better attention than I was, because I zoned out at this point in the movie. Not like completely. I came back in. Mm-hmm. But they make up really quickly. Like, that girl is probably still in the bed. Like, he comes downstairs and they're talking, and they just tell each other that, like, he tells her that he loves her. She tells him that she hates him, and they just keep repeating, I love you, I hate you, back and forth, and they get closer and closer till they start making out. And then she changes from I hate you to I love you.
Excuse me. Butting heads together.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's what they do.
You're right.
I don't know if this is supposed to be like this is just the way the other half live. Like the famous rock star people where it's...
Yeah.
You know, like she didn't mean anything because she's not really a person to them.
But like Esther's not a big rock star. I mean, she's getting famous, but that she doesn't ever have that sensibility about her throughout the movie where she doesn't have that kind of attitude.
True. So, I agree though. That was very quick.
She was very forgiving, and that was one problem I had with this movie.
I mean, I would never be in this same situation, but if my wife walked in and there was a young Rolling Stones reporter in the bed with me, like, get over it quick. Like, the stab wounds would not even heal for months. They'd be picking pieces of knife out of my lungs for the next,
and rightfully
hours.
rightfully so. But they make up, and this is kind of where we get to the end of the movie, where they're back in Tucson. She's in bed. He says that he has to go and meet with the agent, the manager. They're going to start talking about a tour.
Yeah.
And he agrees that he's going to go on tour with her, which is what she's wanted this entire time.
Everything seems hunky-dory.
Great. And he says, I got to go talk to him about the tour. She says, I'm really happy you decided to come with me. He leaves her in bed. He goes out, gets in a red Ferrari.
Nothing like a Schlitz and a Ferrari ride in the morning.
Yeah, he walks outside and cracks a beer and gets in the car, pops in the A-track of his own song, and starts...
Which we still don't get to hear the fucking end of.
We don't hear the whole thing, not once in this movie. Because 2 seconds into it, he pops that A-track out and puts her song in.
Yes.
And then he's just driving down the road like a fucking maniac. Over 100 miles an hour, windy roads, reckless, Like you said, he's a saboteur. He sabotages himself.
Yes.
And we get a very long driving montage of just him flying through turns, cranking the music up, drinking his Schlitz. He goes up over a hill, out of view. Next thing we see, we get like a shot of a helicopter flying overhead, and we get somebody on the radio saying, we got one fatality, car crash. Guy was going 145 miles an hour.
160.
161.
They say 160.
I think it was 161 maybe, because I think he flew 145 feet.
Yeah.
I think it says he's landed like 145 feet.
Which they cut to, he's next to the car. I don't know if they moved him over to that or what.
Well, I think the car flew 145 and then he fell
okay.
right next to it. I don't know. The car's on its side. We get Esther comes running up with the manager, which I thought he was going to meet the manager. Now the manager's there with Esther. Seemed odd. She comes up, uncovers the body. It's him, obviously. Looks pretty good for being in a 161 mile per hour car crash in a Ferrari, like a convertible.
Oh my God, I got thoughts on this.
Like a bloody lip, and that was it.
Yeah.
She has a little scene where, it's almost like she can't believe he's dead. Like, she doesn't want to accept the fact that he's dead. She's on the ground, wiping blood off of his face, saying that he needs a blanket, feeling him, like, his temperature. I'm like, well, he's dead. Like, blanket's not going to help, lady. And then
Maybe she could give him mouth to mouth.
just
your
two
faces
together.
slamming into each other.
And then, they pull her away. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we get a little scene, her in the house by herself. There was a part of this movie where she was telling him he was a self-saboteur. She's like, you're going to kill yourself. And he said, I'm never going to die. And it's at that point where I wrote down, ain't never going to die. This guy's probably going to die. Because you don't ever say in a movie, I ain't never going to die.
I called it at the very beginning.
Yeah.
When they go outside and he says, she says, where's the funeral? Looking at his limo.
Yeah.
And says, this is the kind of car people go to funerals in.
Oh.
And I was immediately like, this guy's going to die. And they go to the funeral in that car later.
I didn't even clock that. I didn't clock that. But so at the end, we get a scene of her in the house by herself, just kind of talking out loud, saying that he's a liar. You promised me you wouldn't die. And then we get a 7-minute musical number. Single shot right on her face. I actually really like this. But it's funny because, so I watched this movie this morning. This is a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. I was a little exhausted with it at this point. So I didn't really catch the conversation as he was leaving the house to get in the car. And then I started, the song is playing in the background. I'm on my phone. I'm like, well, she's just singing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the song, it turns into his song that we never got to hear. It's the song that he always keeps trying to sing. It's the song that's doing in the car. And it hooked me back in. I really liked it.
Yeah, you like that little twist.
When it gets up tempo and starts really going. So then I actually rewound this movie and watched the last 15 minutes again.
Oh, God.
Just because I wanted to see, because I wasn't sure if he killed himself.
And I guess that was purposefully ambiguous.
Do you know why?
But if you're driving 160 miles an hour, do not be prepared to survive.
Yeah.
People do that, they're called NASCAR drivers.
Do you know why it was left ambiguous?
No.
So in every version of this movie, there's 4 versions of this movie, he kills himself. It's not implied, or it's he fucking kills himself. Barbara Streisand and her then boyfriend John Peters took control of this movie. They had more control than the directors, the writers, everything. She had final cut. This was their thing. He had a ton of input on it. They basically modeled this relationship after themselves. So he didn't want the guy that was supposed to be him to kill himself. he fucking killed himself.
Real vanity project.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
You're right.
He killed himself.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. So, on that note, do you have any grand gestures you'd like to give to this movie before it rides off 161 miles into the sunset, never to be seen again?
What do we say that hasn't been said about this movie? Like, the fuck was this guy's problem the whole time? I've never really wanted to live in, like, the 50s, 60s, 70s, or the 80s for that fact. This movie did make some of it seem cool. Like, there's a point in which he's having kind of a rough day, and his manager's just like, hey, man, you need a Valium? Or, like, what? Like, I want to live in the era where, like, I come home from work, and somebody's like, man, you look stressed. Here's some Valiums.
Yeah. It's very laissez-faire about the whole drug situation. Just like, not feeling great? Here, do a bump about it. Like,
Yeah.
Let's just do coke about it.
This is what the 70s were like. I really feel like I missed on something, because it was fucking bonkers. Like, it was nuts.
It really was.
The entire
You
time.
could just shoot at helicopters and ride motorcycles into crowds of people and nobody cared.
No, if you're a rock star, man, you were a rock star.
Nobody batted an eye.
But yeah, I don't really have a lot of flowers for this one. That's about it. That's my big grand gesture, is get me some Valium.
All right, fair enough. Mine, I just got a couple, I guess, like little tidbits that I didn't get to fit in that I thought were interesting. So this movie's been made 4 times. Obviously, that means 8 different leads, a male and a female in each one. Chris Christopherson is the only one out of the 8 that did not get an Academy Award nomination. Every other one did in some capacity.
Look, I love the man. I do. I really love Chris Christopherson. Terrible in this movie.
He was. He really was. And that's my other kind of fun fact. I thought this was a great quote from Chris Christopherson. He did not get along with the director. Frank Pearson directed this movie. He was a World War II veteran. He looked down on Christopherson for being in the army but not going to war in Vietnam. So they butted heads a lot. And, Chris Christopherson was quoted later as saying, I was just too drunk to give a shit. Like, he didn't care. He was drunk throughout this whole movie. Possibly why the acting wasn't that great, but also probably why he did look like he was drunk half the time. Like, he's not a good drunk actor. He was just drunk during the movie.
I mean, he actually was a pretty wild guy. You know what? You got to do a weird Andre the Giant story. My favorite, I have many favorite Chris Christopherson stories, but one of my favorite that's quick enough to fit in this podcast was he really wanted to get Johnny Cash was kind of the guy that really discovered him.
Yeah.
And when he kept sending his tapes to Johnny Cash to listen to, and of course when you're a rock star you get like 1 million tapes, so you don't care about any of that. So he got drunk and grabbed a helicopter, much like in this movie, and flew into Johnny Cash's backyard.
Get the fuck out.
And delivered his tape to June Carter Cash.
And she didn't shoot at him, which
and
is
she
good.
said, some fucking asshole showed up in a helicopter. Maybe you should actually listen to this, and that's how he ended up kind of getting discovered.
Hey, you gotta take those chances, you know?
Yes.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so... gotta fly that helicopter into...
Get drunk, grab a helicopter.
It's amazing the man's still alive. Good for him.
Yes.
Good for him. All right, so I guess we're gonna turn this chick flick into a dick flick?
Yeah.
You wanna go first?
Sure. I had a hard time with this one. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a cop out on it.
Okay.
I thought about, Robert
I've copped out a
Englund
few times, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change very much of this movie. I'm basically gonna change how I watch it. I have a good buddy, Mike. We watched The Warriors one time. You ever seen that movie?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Baseball Furies, all that crazy shit. Terrible movie. But if you watch it as a drinking game, and you just take a drink whenever something ludicrous happens, it becomes a great movie. And that's how I'm going to watch this movie from now on. Anytime that something that just out of this fucking world happens, you got to take a drink. So that's how I'm going to turn into a dick flick. But I am going to change one little thing.
Okay.
If you're in a car accident at 60, 70 miles an hour,
Yeah.
do not expect an open casket.
No, I wanted to see some gore.
If you're in a car accident at 160 miles an hour, don't even expect to be recognizable. You will be a puddle. You will not be anywhere near that car. You will be a puddle somewhere.
I would like to see that same scene play out where Barbara Streisand is just
That's
like,
it!
It's
Yes!
just like licking a napkin and dabbing inside of his lips, but instead she's just dabbing like a big pile of goo. Like, let's get this cleaned up.
And honestly, it wouldn't really stand out in a movie this fucking insane already.
Yeah.
If she's just covered in viscera at the end of this movie, saying, "Please make him comfortable.
Yeah,
get him a blanket."
Yeah, he's
It's
cold.
just a puddle of man.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna make this a dick flick. Is I'm just gonna drink the entire time I watch it from now on.
Very good.
If I ever watch this,
You're going to be
again.
drunker than Chris Christopherson if you
Yes.
do that. So mine, picture this. Movie starts out the same way, pretty much. They meet. They fall in love. They decide to start a family. So, Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand, they get pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant, obviously.
Obviously.
One night, she's out at the Tucson Ranch, like out at night, like doing, whatever, doing some shoveling or whatever. Because, clearly she's a capable woman. They built a whole house together. So she's out there, she's putting an addition on or whatever. A vampire bites her.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So she is now pregnant and she's been bitten by a vampire. John Norman has no choice, but to kill her. She's a vampire, right? But the baby survives. Now the baby is half human, half vampire. A daywalker, if you will.
Oh.
John Norman raises this child to be a vampire killer. And then they hunt down the vampires that killed Barbara. And then they make it their mission to wipe out the entire vampire population on Earth.
Can we make the vampire, the Daywalker, black for some weird reason?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's mine. And we'll just, we'll call it A Blade is Born.
Blade is Born.
Yeah, that's mine.
Oscars.
Yeah. And then somehow Gary Busey becomes a vampire too. And he's like the head honcho vampire. And he's just fucking coked out crazy vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's mine.
You want some blood from this guy that I just gave a bunch of coke to?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right. Let's Nick Cage it.
Yeah, there's a lot of places to fit Nick Cage into this movie.
He would
could be
fit
the
so well.
kiss on the mouth fella. He could be Gary Busey. The one place I thought he'd be great would be adding him into this movie rather than replacing a character is when he shows up to record with Speedway and Gary Busey gives him a bump of coke and says, "Hey, they've moved on. They're Freeway now." Nick Cage is in the background. They're like, they got a new lead singer.
Yes.
And it's just him walking around in the background going like, "Oh, is that John Norman over there?" That's where I'd add him into this one.
I love it. All right. I had to connect him to Freddy Krueger,
Of
right?
course. I actually
Soon as
thought
I
you
saw
were
him
going to
pop
do a Freddy Krueger for the chick flick into a dick flick.
No, I didn't, because I already was set on connecting him to Nicolas Cage.
Ah.
So Robert Englund plays the annoying bar patron that harasses John Norman into a fight and ruins Esther's show. Robert Englund, famously, Freddy Krueger. In the original Nightmare on Elm Street, also starring a young Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Benicio del Toro. Benicio del Toro is in The Usual Suspects with Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil with John Cusack. I know I did this one before.
Ooh.
So easy. John Cusack, Con Air, Nick Cage. There you have it. That's how you connect Robert Englund to Nicolas
Con Air
Cage.
is probably, it's the movie we all go back to.
There's a ton of people in that movie.
Absolutely.
It's easy. All right. Let's rate it. I'm going to go first on this one.
Okay, please do.
I think we're going to come in drastically different on this.
Please don't say 4.
No.
Okay.
For as crazy as this movie is, and as long as it is, and as bad as some of the acting is, I kind of like this movie. I don't know why.
Really?
I did. I kind of enjoyed it. First of all, I liked Barbra Streisand. I'm not afraid to say it. I enjoyed her in this movie. I thought she was really good.
You know what I would describe this movie as? They were hitting bullseyes. It was just not on my fucking dartboard.
Yeah, okay. I like the story. I like the story of the self-destructive guy who used to have it all, who's kind of on his way down, and then meets someone, and she kind of fixes him and helps him out, but he's just too self-destructive to not fall back into the same bullshit. But he helps her, and it really, for as little chemistry as there was in the kissing, I really felt like these two were in love. Honestly, I was pretty bummed out he died in the end. I thought that there was going to be I've never seen the remake. I've never seen any of the originals. I didn't know anything.
Did you want to watch the remake after this? Because I was like,
I do.
Maybe I just watched it real
No,
quick.
I kind of do want to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for the pod, but I do want to watch it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like it's not super high rating, but I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.25. I dug it, and like I'm not gonna lie. So after this movie was over, I watched this morning first thing when I woke up. I went to the gym before I came here. I'm at the gym. I got the fucking A Star Is Born soundtrack in my earbuds while I'm working out, just because I kind of wanted to go back and listen to some of these songs.
Just a bump of coke and some deadlift into the Star Is Born soundtrack.
Yeah.
I like it.
I wanted to just hear some of them, like studio versions of them, and see how they were. Nothing really sticks out.
Good for cardio?
No, it's awful. It was a horrible workout music, but it was enough to make me at least check it out. The Chris Christopherson songs are still bad, which I don't understand. But some of the Streisand songs are good. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 3.25. That's my final offer. A Star Is Born. Wouldn't necessarily watch it again, but I kind of dug it.
Okay. I go back and forth on these movies. Do I rate it based on if it's a good movie or if it's a good movie for me? And then I always just remind myself it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No.
Like, nobody actually gives a fuck.
No.
I actually, this is one of the few where I knew the rating when I watched it, and I was positive I was going to give it a 1.5.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bump that up to a 2.
Okay.
Just because now we're talking about it, and I get to look back and think, this movie was batshit insane.
Yeah.
And I really like that fact. So I'm going to give it a 2.
All right.
I don't think I'll ever see it again, but maybe when I'm just hanging out with some buddies and I say, have you guys ever seen this fucking movie? Let's go get our beers and start drinking.
Yeah. I like it.
So, yeah, that's where I'm keeping it at a 2.
All right. Well, there you have it. I guess we should roll our next movie then. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. It's A Star Is Born.
That is a thing. Like, I'm interested in seeing
Yeah,
it.
me too. All right, so we're at 205 movies on the list.
All right, let's hit that generate
Let me
random
see
number.
what you got.
I have number 103.
Oh, we're over 100 again.
Yeah.
Things are moving right along. Oh, boy. Well, we're not going to have to really talk about whether either of us know what this movie's about, because I'm sure we've all seen it. Titanic.
No shit.
Yeah, we're doing Titanic.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just the first half or the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Because the first half, like, that's the romance, the hand jobs and the romance. The second half is already a dick flick.
No, we're watching the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, Titanic it is. Blockbuster Titanic. So, until next time, as always, I'd like to remind everyone, check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. Rate us, review us. And until next week, when I paint CJ like one of those French girls, please stay romantic and don't be shitty to each other.
Yeah. You want to watch Titanic right now?
Yes.
I'm feeling frisky.
Let's do it.
That was a hand job joke.
I know what it was.